Hey YouTube, it's Kristen. So today's subject is college. Online college or going to class. I am biased. I prefer online class. There's a whole lot of reasons for that. Number one reason is that my mental state. I had difficulty going to physical class because I suffer from depression. There's times where I would miss class because I was so depressed I couldn't even go to school, couldn't even take a test, and I ended up failing the class because this repeatedly kept happening. There was a lot of times where I couldn't focus on the PowerPoints, what the teacher was saying, and I was also worried a lot about the social factor behind it too, because I wanted friends and I had difficulty making friends. So online school just provides that that thing that gets rid of that difficulty, like not having to go there. Another reason why I prefer online school is because it's open book. If you want to take a test, you can look at your textbook, you can search the internet, and it makes it a whole lot easier finding the answers. And another thing about that is it's even better if you have a online textbook, because you could always use that find search option in the top right corner of your internet browser to find specific words. It's especially useful if you have like a lot of jargons and you can find like the specific area they're talking about, that specific thing. School was always difficult for me. I've actually been doing college for 10 years just to get my bachelor's. Typically a bachelor's would take about 4 years, but it took me so long because of my mood. But online schooling actually helped me consistently go. All those factors that made it difficult actually was alleviated with it. For example, work. I have to work full time, and going to school full time and work full time is a lot more difficult if you're going to both places physically. With an online schooling, you can schedule your school around your work. You don't have to worry about having to work and go to school 40 80 hours or whatever you have to do. And it is difficult going to school and work at the same time, even if it's online. It's just still easier. One of the biggest things I notice is I actually learn more online because I can always pause audios and videos. I always have the PowerPoints available so I can read it thoroughly. I had trouble with that going to class because you would have to write down as fast as possible and you have to listen to the teacher, and if you're in a bad mental state, sometimes you're just zoning out, you can't focus. So having that online option where you can just pause or decide I could just come back to this later, another day, or in a couple hours, it just makes it that much easier. Not everybody is good for online. If you don't have that internal motivation, then it's not for you. Some people have to have a teacher over their shoulder making them work, or somebody to watch them. They might have to have some social factors to even want them to even focus on school. I don't really have that issue. I'm always motivated naturally. I've always had that natural drive to me, so going to online school was a good option for me. I have a brother who struggles with that. Even going online, he's still not doing well. Going to physical school, he's not doing well because he's just not interested in school. You also have to find a subject that you're interested in to even want to pay attention. I'm almost done with school. Next semester will be my last semester and I'll have a bachelor's degree. I'm not sure whether or not I'm going to go for like my master's or my PhD. You'll see. But so far I just kind of want to get my bachelor's and use what I have to possibly teach abroad. I'm thinking Thailand, that's interesting to me right now. Maybe Japan or China, maybe somewhere in Europe or South America or Africa, who knows. If you're a little bit more worried about that social factor, you want to meet people, I would suggest going to school, at least try it out. try it out for a semester or two. Maybe you're not going to like it. You might want to just go back home or live in your own apartment or not take physical classes. Try that dorm life, but it's not for everybody. You just got to try it out and see if it's for you. Now, you may be wondering about like, how are you going to get tutored? There are online resources, like for example with writing, there was an online resource with my school where you could send your essays and they could proofread it for you and tell you what you need to improve on. I'm not sure if there was any other resources that would help something like math or anything like that. I haven't taken math in a long time. I already finished all my math before I even decided to start with college online, so that's not really something I know about. Anyways, typically I don't really need a lot of help either, because I could always go back to the resource and review. Not everybody's okay with that. Sometimes people rather have somebody teach them, and I completely understand that. There were tutoring centers on my college campus that I went to. There were different areas you could get help with. Sometimes you get help with students. I could never get any help with my classmates because nobody ever wanted to talk to me. Unfortunately, that's how it is sometimes. I'm socially awkward, and maybe they didn't like me for some reason. I don't know why. I couldn't say. I have so many things going in my head that online was just better. Just getting rid of that terrible social factor. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you introverts probably would like online class as well, but extroverts probably would want to do something physical. There's lots of schools where you could do online. You can go like your physical school might have online options, or there's just online only schools. There's also this place called study.com where you could go and take some online classes there and go to your physical school. There's a lot of different options out there. I was just doing my online schooling through the school that I physically went to. I actually only went to that school for a week. I hated it, and like my scholarship wasn't going to pay for it like I thought it was, so I decided to leave that semester and then just take classes the next semester. But I'm glad I didn't go, because that school was god awful to me. I hated it. Anyways, go ahead and tell me your experience. What do you prefer, online or physical, and why? Let me know down in the comments below, and thank you and have a nice day.